Okay, so shalom. So now listen. Uh, the message tonight is not going to be the actual message. Okay, the actual message is called Man and Woman, and I'm going to try to bring that message to you all tomorrow evening. But in any event, I have a different message that I'm bringing to you spontaneously because I want to get some things off the air here. Now, you all have a choice to believe me, or you have a choice to believe the things that are being said. Now, I'm going to make this one of the last, probably the last time I ever attempt to defend myself. Now, all of you are going to have to either take this for a grain of salt or believe the things that are being said. That's fine. Okay? But now, I also want to explain to you all why these things are very believable. Now, I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say to you because you have three types of people. Listen carefully. I don't have any scripture tonight. I'm just going to tell you some facts. You have three types of people. You have people that are in the truth, people that are oblivious to the truth, and people that know the truth but reject the truth. Those are your three categories. Let me repeat them. You have people that are in the truth, people that have no idea what the truth is, and people that know the truth but reject the truth. Okay? So now we're going to get something straight. All right? And I want everybody to pay very close attention. I told you all before that my telephone was tapped. Okay? I told y'all that. Now, many of you chose not to believe that. My phone is tapped, which is the reason why it makes all the things that are being said about me an inside job. Now, I want y'all to listen very carefully to what I'm telling y'all because I'm telling y'all the truth. First of all, let's get some of these things off the air. I'm not dealing with an ex-girlfriend. Let me repeat that. I'm not dealing with an ex-girlfriend. Okay? If somebody saw me speaking to a woman, that woman I'm not speaking to that woman about relations or anything of that matter. All right? I know people in Philadelphia, even though I remain alone and I don't really speak, I don't associate with many people, I do know people. Okay? So now, another thing we need to get off the air. I'm not having an affair and my wife is not having an affair. Okay? These things are not happening. Okay? Now, another thing. All right? And like I said, this is really the last time because I'm done defending the things that are being said. You just have to either take them for a grain of salt or believe or just believe what these people are saying. That's fine with me. Either way, I really don't care. Now, I'm not giving anyone anything. Okay? That's another thing we have to get straight. The only people that get anything from me is my wife, my sons, and my daughter, and my mother. Okay? And if my dad need anything. Okay? Now, another thing. I didn't just meet my dad. I knew my dad since I was a child all my life. Okay? I didn't just meet him. All right? I've been knowing my dad. Okay? Now, me and my dad are really nothing alike. Sometimes he acts like a chump, in my personal opinion. But I've always known my dad. Okay? Let's get something else straight. I wasn't inherited anything. I was never inherited a house. I was never inherited multiple houses. I never inherited anything from anybody. Okay? My grandfather didn't leave me anything. Okay? What else? Now, some things are true and some things are not true. But my phone is tapped. But like I told you all, you gotta take the bones out of the fish, and you gotta, it's a complicated situation, because these people that that have my phone tapped, and these people that are watching me as well, they're doing these things to try to put me in a position or whatever or whatnot. Now, as I explained to you all about the three types of people, I said you have people that's in the truth, people that are oblivious to the truth, and people that know the truth but reject the truth, right? You have to understand something. The people that are in the truth are looking at my situation completely different from the people that are oblivious to the truth and the people that know the truth and reject the truth. The people that are in the truth, they see my situation from a spiritual lens, and all the rest of you dummies don't have the slightest idea of what's going on. All you're doing is believing what's being said. Now, okay, have I lent people my vehicle? Yeah, I've lent a coworker I've lent two coworkers my vehicle. Okay, one of the co-workers was a brother whose truck went down, who did some work for me, and then another person that I lent the car to was a female co-worker, and that's because she was doing some things for me, some errands for me, and she needed to get from A to B. Okay, she was doing these things for me, or if the brother was doing whatever type of labor for me or whatever whatnot, and he didn't have a truck, I still needed the work done, so I have a vehicle that I loan people. Now, this vehicle also, I'm gonna do some tidying up to it, and eventually I'm gonna give it to my daughter. It's a very reliable old vehicle, and it's even taken me from Yonkers and back. So yeah, I've lent out my car on a few occasions. I've even had one of the closest brothers that I grew up with. At one point in time, him and his old lady, his car went down. You know what I'm saying? And his wife wasn't driving at the time, so I had lent them a Crown Vic, and they had it for almost a year. But this was a while ago. So, but that's different situations. But nobody's giving anybody anything. Okay? Now, another thing. Okay? Another thing. What are some of the other things that from what I can visualize, or from what I can take from what people are saying? Okay? Because first of all, I'm always by myself. Okay? And once again, for the 1,000th time, the people that I deal with, the very, very small circle that I deal with, would never tell any personal business. The reason why these things sound like they're coming from the inside, is because my phone is tapped. But you have to understand, a lot of the conversations that's coming from me is being twisted. Like, for instance, I had a conversation with one of my good brothers about something that I did in the past. And I'm not a bad person, but it's a situation that I did in the past where there was a female, and her boyfriend would go upstairs and play Madden with a brother that's upstairs, and I would sneak in the apartment while he was upstairs playing Madden, and I would frisk her. How was that conversation taken? And how was that conversation twisted? And how was that conversation turned around? By saying that I play video games and that somebody is dealing with my wife while I'm playing video games. Okay? I don't play video games. When do I get time to play video games? Now, I don't have a problem with you brothers that do play video games, but when do I have a time to do that? I'm always out and about. I don't have time to sit down and play video games. Okay? But the thing is I don't even care. Like, I'm not knocking brothers that play, but if that's what they do, then that's what they do. Okay? So now we got to get some things out of the air. Now, there's some high crimes Also, there's some high crimes that I'm being accused of, but there will never ever be any proof of that because it doesn't exist. Okay? So these people are trying to, if the worst possible thing could happen to me, that's what they want. But I'm going to tell you something. You're going to be judged before any of these things come my way. Because of the things that you say. Now, I can't tell you all right now, and I actually have already told you all. So if any of you remember, then that's good. But right now, I can't mention the name of the organization that's doing this because I don't have any proof, but I do know that my phone is tapped. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you where I messed up at because a text message came through my phone one day and it said CAMP, camp, and it had a code number behind it. And you know what I did? I erased it. That was foolishness on my behalf because I could have used that as proof of what's going on. In a lot of cases, when phone taps come in, you receive a message. Okay? Now, I'm telling y'all I'm not going to keep telling you all these things. You all believe what you want to believe. There's nothing I can do. This is not an inside job. I'm not going to keep telling y'all this. Okay? I'm not going to, I know what's going on, and the people that are in the truth know what's going on. Because many of you are just, and for real, many of you that are so-called in the truth, you don't discern things spiritually either. Many of you all make me sick. That's why many of you all are going to also be with the 2/3. Now, I'm not going to keep saying these things to y'all. I'm not going to keep saying these things over and over again to y'all. I told y'all it's evil, and I understand a lot of these slanders. Now, some of these things are true, but they're twisted. You understand what I'm saying? Like the whole video game thing. That came based off a conversation with me saying what I did in the past, right? And that's when we all had a point in period of time when we were no good. Now, she wasn't married to the brother. I wouldn't even did it. Even then, I wouldn't have did that if she was married, right? But it wasn't even that situation. But sometimes men, we have conversations and we talk and we reminisce and we bust it up, whether in person or on the phone. Damn, remember that joint or remember that? Damn, remember that situation or blah blah blah. And that's how that went. Right? So now I don't know. Now all the things that are being said about, I don't know what the deal is with all of these things. Why you all so badly want me and my wife to be in turmoil? I don't understand that. But I tell you all the case because it says that if a man can't rule his household, then how can he rule a congregation? See, let me explain something to you all, right? That situation with these deceptive things that's coming at you all about my household is because these people don't want any of you all to listen to what I'm trying to tell you all. But what you need to understand is this is what the prophets of old and the apostles, they all went through these things. They all went through these slanders and they all went through these gossips. This is how you know that I am who I say I am in Christ. Because of these things. See, many of you all, and I'm really getting sick and tired of you men that are listening to this gossip. I'm telling y'all right now, especially a lot of you men in Philadelphia, y'all getting on my nerves. Okay? Now I'm telling you right now, you constantly in that gossip bullshit and you want to throw little things over the internet and y'all don't even know what the F y'all talking about. That's because you all are one of the people that are not in the truth or you either know the truth and you reject the truth. So you can't see things from a spiritual lens. Understand that I am a man that speaks for Yahushua HaMashiach. These things must occur, but I'm going to rise above these things. You understand what I'm saying? So this message is not going to be long. I don't know how much of the pages had me blocked. Okay? Now, whatever the case may be, there's a lot of these other people. Okay, so you all can see these things, right? All right, that's fine, right? But this is the wickedness of the people. You understand me? So, now, what else is it? I'm trying to think. Well, I already know that I'm being accused of high crimes, okay? All right, so, but what else is it? Right? What else? What else little nooks and crannies is it? Oh, my cars are breaking down. That's a lie. Okay? When you see, listen, I got a trick for y'all. When y'all see me with these older cars, I'll guarantee any of you, if any of y'all want to smirk and laugh and do whatever these things, I'll guarantee that car got less miles than your secondhand car. I bet you whatever you want to bet. I'll meet your bet, damn it. That whatever car you see me in got less miles than your car, regardless of the way it looks. See, there's certain things I do on purpose. Okay? I don't need to appeal to anyone. I would bet you. I'm willing to bet any of you. Oh, so now, what is another thing? Am I being got by mechanics or this, that, and the third? I only deal with one mechanic. And people know that I will be on one of the block where one of the places where I lay my head. You'll know I'll be on that block, and many of you come down that street. And if it's something that I can fix on that car, many of you have caught me doing those things myself. But in any event, that's not important, right? Because I'm not a mechanic, but still, just sometimes for fun, and just sometimes because I know it's something simple, many of you have caught me, whether it be putting side mirrors on, changing an alternator, spark plugs, whatever the case may be. You watch me. Transmission mounts, engine mounts. Many of you come down the block and you see these things, right? But the slanderers take it and they twist it, and they say other things. I don't know how to do any housework or any of these things, but people on one of the block know for sure that I've done pavement work, that I've done all types of carpentry work, things that I've done inside the house or some of these things, but I ain't messing with the heights though. That's just not what I do. And I hate masonry work. Number one, it's not really all year round, for real, because if it's too cold, it's doing cement work in the cold weather can be frustrating. You all know that. It's possible, unless if it's an emergency, but it's frustrating for the most part. It takes too long. You need too much patience, and it takes too long for the cement to dry in cold weather. And if you're stacking it up, it'll start to slide it'll start to slide and become uneven because it's not drying fast enough because it's too cold. But other than that, and listen, I'm not a professor. As far as I'm concerned, I grew up in the streets. I didn't pick up a trade. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe I should have, but I didn't. I lived my life. I did what I did. I came up in the life where, those things, I didn't come up in a positive lifestyle like that. I ran the streets. But even though still, I make sure that there's things that I do, and the things that I can't do, that I can't do. But don't let these slanderers take things and twist the whole thing and try to completely demean me as a man of such. Now, there are people that know these truths, right? But who stepped up for Christ? Who stepped up for Christ? When your forefathers were about to put Christ on the chopping block, who stepped up for him? That's because you Negroes hate the truth. Now, I told y'all, my phone is tapped and I'm being watched. So if you want to know why some of these things, say, well, how would they know that? Or how would they know this? Or how would they know that? Now, the high crimes are absolute false, absolute slander. I heard now they even got false witnesses in reference to that, but that shit ain't gonna work. You can't bring false witnesses to the table and expect that to work. You wicked nigga. Don't you know what's gonna happen to you? And the woman that coincided with she really started a whole lot of the stuff. And I ain't got to get into it between me and her because that ain't nobody's business. But in any event, you understand what I'm saying? That no one has even been in my house. Nobody has been in my house except for my wife and my mother and my father and my grandfather before he died. And one brother that I'm very close with, who is very close to my family, my wife, and I could call this brother, and if I'm out of town, I could call him and say, my mom need this, and he could do the same thing for me. He can call me, he'd say, look, Miss Dietrich need this, or his mom need this, and I'm right there on the spot. That's the only people that's ever been in my house. Another thing, go and ask anybody, who do I hang with? Since these people really know me, they hear on the telephone, but they don't know me. They hear information that I throw back and forth over the airwaves. But I'm getting tricky with that information too. Okay? I'm getting tricky with that shit too. Now, I bought another phone. That didn't work. So somehow this here tap is linked. I don't know whether it's linked to my number. I don't know how it works. I've never been technical. I've never been savvy with software and all that bull stuff. Never been. I barely know how to use a computer. But I'm telling y'all this now. Once again, I'm not going to keep saying this because now here's the problem though. Because everybody is saying, well, why would somebody want to do that to you? Who are you? I know I'm nobody. But I don't think y'all understand how much I'm hated. The word of Yah is a very powerful word. And I'm going to continue to expose these camps and organizations. As long as you receive money from the government, you'll never be able to tell people the truth. You'll never be able to do it. You'll never be able to do the work of God as long as you get paid to do it. I'm telling y'all that now. I'm not going to keep having these conversations. I'm not. Nobody's giving anybody any money. I don't even have any money to give. I know spurts of individuals. I know spurts of people, whether it be male or female. I know spurts of people. I know people. So now it seems like if wherever I'm at, if I'm at a certain place or this, that, and the third, if I be somewhere, I see suspicious little vehicles and this, that, and the third, it doesn't matter. I don't have anything to hide. Don't make me no never mind. Nobody's, I'm not helping anybody with anything unless they're doing something for me. Believe that. When has the last time, and you niggas that's wrapped up in the gossip, you punk ass, when the last time you all seen me with anybody? When the last time y'all seen me with anybody? Tell me. The only way that someone could know anything about me would be to spy on me. Tap my phone. And I don't give a doodly squat really what I say over the phone, because the things that I'm saying over the phone, just really nothing, it's about nothing but whatever it is. But I talk to my wife, I talk to a close friend of mine, I talk to my daughter, I talk to my dad, and that's it. And you know, if I'm conducting business, whoever's doing that, whoever's doing this, or whether or not, whatever. That's it. Conversations are being taken, but you got to understand something. The conversation is being taken. They take out what they want to take out from the conversation, and they make it as bad as possible. It's always, how is it this many degrading things and this many bad and awful things about one man? I can't possibly be this bad. It's never anything good. It's always something to make me appear weak. Well, why don't one of you men that's listening to this gossip, why don't you try, and I'm not the toughest Negro, but why don't you see for yourself and see whether or not a lot of this gossip is true? There's really only like 2 men, for real, that keep meddling in the gossip and listening to them people. There's no other men that really gives a F-U-C-K about me. I know plenty of women involve themselves in it. I understand that. Why don't a lot of you dudes stop trying to use sorcery over the internet and believe in the bull crap and then trying to portray it, and then you acting like a lot of brothers, they act like they saying something to help somebody. And for real, you're using sorcery, you're twisting it and bouncing it to really make it seem like I'm the simp that these gossipers and slanderers say I am. Nobody gives a damn about these women out here. Believe me, this is my first marriage. And I went through a long testimony with my wife before I married her. Many of you, for all of you men out there whose wife has laid with another man, it is what it is. But see, it's really the women that have done that, and they're so angry. So they want to have this evil suspicion as well. And everybody would probably shit their pants in happiness and glory to see for something like my wife committing adultery. They would love for that to be true. You would love for many of you would be so happy. But that's why I married her. And in any event, many of you can go ahead and keep. Now, I've never lied to you all. And if this one thing that people know about me, they know that I don't lie. I'm telling y'all for the last time. Okay? Either ignore it or pull the bone. For those of you who've met me and know me, pull the bones out of the fish and judge based upon meeting me. Many of you have gotten better with this, though. Many of you have been ignored. Now, if it comes out that I'm a failure, then so be it. Let it happen. Because they don't have anything on me. That's why they try to. I don't know what they expect. Do they expect falsehood to become true? That's why they're being watched. Do you expect the falsehood to occur? Do you expect something that's never occurred? I don't know what's being said. I've never been molested. I've never dealt with a man. I've never been in orgies. None of that stuff. I've never messed with children. I've never done any of these things. That's on my mother and my daughter and my sons. I don't have any gay past, none of that. You all keep believing these lies, okay? This is the last time from here on, but I know many of you that hate me, you won't stop believing. But I don't even care from this point on. I've said this, and I'm not going to say this again. My phone is tapped, and there are people that want to, they only say the worst things. This is an attempt to destroy an image, an attempt to destroy a man, because they know that the truth that I speak is going to destroy them.